Hello Open White Knight listeners, and welcome to our first ever Dungeons & Dragons podcast. Oh shit, I was trying to get dice out. If you guys would like to take a set of dice each. In fact, you can take two each.
Like any?
Yeah, any of these.
Awesome.
How many sides are there meant to have?
They're all different.
Yeah, but like, which ones do I pick?
One of each. You pick one of the colour sets.
I'll have that.
And then you pick another colour set.
Oh.
Sam, would you like blue,
Gold,
green or gold?
please.
Gold. Isaac, would you like blue or green?
What would you recommend, Archie?
For the same thing, just in different colours.
That was a terrible recommendation. I would like green, please. I think we should...
It's Maz, you can take
That
blues.
should be the intro, but amplified.
It's like it's in a massive cave.
Oh,
A long stone corridor.
So, in future, if I ask you to make something like an attack roll or a specific check, that will be the D20, which is the really weird one with loads and loads of sides. If you were to roll a 1 on that, that's an automatic fail. If you roll a 20 on that, then it's an automatic success, and on an attack, you get a critical hit. I'm Archie, and I will be the Dungeon Master for these sessions, and I think it's time for the players to introduce themselves.
I am Zark Muckaberg, the lizard folk.
I am Thorganon.
I'm Farida.
Okay, so now we know our players' names.
Dungeons and Dragons.
You three recently were all arrested, in fact, by you don't know who. You had bags thrown over your heads, your hands cuffed, and you were thrown into jail cells. And this is where you've been
arrested
for the past 10 days. You're starting to grow restless of this constant monotony and boredom. Food is slid under the door each day. But one day, this all changes. Early in the morning, you all hear a sharp knock on each of the metal doors that constrain you. And small...
Oh god.
But this morning is not like the rest of the town. And the small shutter that you usually receive food through slides open and a ring of keys is thrown to each of you. The small dark cell is only like a 10-foot square, seen to brighten slightly. You don't know if it's the hope of finally escaping or if it's some kind of supernatural effect. You're no longer really sure of much. What would you all like to do?
Wait, so we're in a room?
You're in like a small 10-foot by 10-foot like stone room. There's a small blanket laid out on the floor with it's generous to call it a pillow, but technically there is one there, and that's where you've been living for the past 10 days. Yeah, there's just a small ring of keys that's been put through to you.
Can I unlock the door?
Yeah, you take the keys and it takes a little while because there's like 10 keys on it, and there's only like 3 inner locks on your door, and you go through and you go and check them all, and eventually your door does just like swing open with, I wouldn't say a loud creak, but there's a slight grinding of the metal across the stonework.
So that all of us out?
If you two want to also do that, then you could get out as well.
I want to break free. God knows I want to break free.
So would you two like to use the keys to get out of the cell then? Or would you like to do anything else?
I would like to break out of the cell. What do I do? Have I been given keys?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I open the cell with the keys.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
It takes you slightly longer than it took Zark, because you're not quite sure like if there's any correlation between the keys, but you get yourself out, and both of you two see these like 40-foot long stone corridors that are only 10 feet wide, so the same as your cell, but like this 40 feet along, and then they all sharply cut to the left.
Go down the corridor.
As you start walking down, there's the like softness of, in fact it wouldn't be, because you've got scaly feet, don't you? Your feet kind of like clack against the floor and scrape slightly as you're moving. When you get to the end of the hallway, you look down the left and you see there's a load of like maybe 3-foot tall creatures with orange skin and like pointed back ears with like small short swords and short bows like around them, and they're all like squabbling in between each other. Some are like playing what looks to be like chess or something. There's like a couple just walking around and checking down each corridor. If you were to walk down yours as well, Can't even remember your character name. What was it?
Hogan.
If you were to do the same Thorganon, you would see about the same thing.
What would I see if I went round the corner? Oh, have you just told me that? Would I see the goblins? Or what would I see?
You would see about 5 of them, and you see that the wall continues on your left and it's solid. Whereas for you, Zark, you would see that the walls on either side of you cut away, as if it opens up into a larger chamber.
So do I still have my stuff, or did they confiscate it?
You don't have any of your stuff at the moment.
Can I just go
You're in
and,
like bare rags.
Can I just go and kick them?
If you would like to go and kick them,
Are they
you
wearing
can.
armour?
They're quite clearly wearing like some leather armours. They don't look the most well made, but they are. It's going to protect them against themselves.
Why doesn't
Can I
he
just go and like kick them over and steal their stuff?
There's
them in the
there's about 11 goblins in total that you can
I
see.
thought there was 2.
Oh no, there's quite a few more than 2.
So they're like 3
Thorganon,
tall.
you can see about 6 of these, and if
Oh.
you were to do the same, Farida, then you would see about the same 6.
How tall are they?
They're
You
only
said,
about like 3 feet tall.
How tall am
You'd be about 5'11", with your horns taking you up to probably 6'2".
I? So, could I just like spear them with my horn?
You could make an attempt to do that if you would like to.
Can I make an attempt to spear the little fuckers with my horn?
I don't have dice out.
Are you practicing your goblin kicking?
I'm just thinking, could I kick 11 goblins to death?
Sam, it's going to take way more than 1 kick.
Without a doubt.
Oh, I'm doing more than 1 kick.
No, more than 1 kick per goblin.
Yeah. What about first round?
And Sam, bear in mind, you get like 1 attack around. And meanwhile, there's 11 of them that will be murdering you. And you're like 12 hit. Okay, so, did you say you wanted to go up and gore them with your horns?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you make an attack roll for me using your strength modifier? Your strength modifier is just in that top box, and it's that tiny one there. I think it's +2.
+2. So what do I do?
You roll the d20 and you add 2.
6.
Now, I'm fairly certain that doesn't hit. So what you're going to have just done is sprinted up into this like massive room and noticed there's like 14 or so goblins in here, and then just tried to ram one of them with your horns and probably just missed. So what will have happened is you'll have made yourself very, very clearly there to them.
What if I just gore the little fucker?
I'm afraid you tried to and you just missed him because you're not used to trying to use your horns as a weapon. So you've just kind of knocked past him. By the way, for reference for you 3, that's what the goblins look like.
I could kick 11 of them to death easily.
Not when they're also hitting you with swords.
Just kick their swords.
Kick the sword out of their hand. What are they going to be able to cut with that sword? Ah, my knee!
So, Thorganon, as you've done this, I'd like you to roll initiative, which is roll a d20 and add your dexterity bonus. I think it's +0 for you, so it'll be a straight roll.
19.
Okay, so you got a 19 for that.
Or
And
61.
I'm going to be quite generous at this point and say only the goblin you tried to gore noticed, because there's quite a few other of them like playing games off to the side or like sleeping, so he's kind of on his own making the patrol down your like hallway. So you've not jumped completely out into the room, but it might start making commotion if you properly like scream or anything. Yeah, you'll be going before the goblin, so what would you like to do in your turn of combat? Tell me what you want to do and I'll see what you can do.
I'd like to make peace with the goblin, because I really, in hindsight, I shouldn't have tried to gore him, because he's just doing his job.
You start like speaking to him and like making your case properly, and what do you say?
Hey dude, look, it's been a long day. It's been a long few days. I've been stuck in this prison cell. I don't know. I've got horns on my head, bro. And I don't have any tools.
He just properly spits at you at this point.
Bro.
Just kick him.
It doesn't look like he understands what you're saying, but he knows that you're not meant to be here.
What about...
He just tried to
Kick
gore
him
him.
to death.
What if I do some sign language at him? What if I try and communicate via sign?
Do you know sign language?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure Thorganon did not take sign language as one of the languages.
Thorganon watched a lot of Mr. Tumble. And he's got his head around it.
Okay. So as you've done this and you've spent your time trying to appeal to the goblin's rational side, the goblin's now going to take their time. And I'm just going to tell you now, they're not going to spend their turn trying to be diplomatic. What's your armor class? Do we have it written down?
I don't know what that is. Though.
It's the little thing in the shield near the top.
No, I don't
I
know.
have no armor class. No.
Just write 15 in.
15.
Using a pencil.
I don't have one of those. Can somebody? Thank you, Samuel. Sorry.
So the goblin will miss you because it only managed to achieve a 9 to hit you. And if it had reached or exceeded your armor class, it would have been able to hit you. And it would have then dealt damage to you. So it realises that it's kind of like just swept like wide of you, and you hear the air whistle as it like moves through. Would you like to take your turn then?
So first of all, I'd like to say, what the fuck, dude? I was just trying to like patch things up, but like, and now I'm gonna try and gore him again.
Okay, to make a roll with your goal. So roll a d20 and add your strength bonus again. So what's the total on that, Isaac?
5.
So is that a natural 3? Okay.
Yeah.
So you try and do it again and you just kind of like skittering around you. Like very much taunting you in the whole thing. And then like tries to take a swipe at you with their scimitar. So yeah, the goblin's going to try and make a scimitar swipe against you, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to hit because that's a total of 21. Is that greater than or equal to a 15, Isaac? That means the goblin's going to end up doing some damage to you then, Isaac. Fuck! As it kind of like strikes into your thigh, you feel it like sinking and hurting, and you're going to take 6 points of damage. You see where it says hit point maximum and hit points? Just rub out the lower number, and then take 6 off that.
You just got 4. You got 4 HP.
So you're now on 4 HP, which is, for the record, less than half. So, maybe facing 14 goblins wouldn't be great. If, you're on 4, that will be the goblin's turn. It's up to you again.
Don't die in the first episode.
Please.
Your character died in the first episode, that'll be funny.
I would like to.
You do have spells, by the way, that you can cast.
What spells can I
It's
cast?
on the back sheet that I've given you. The ones that say like cantrips or level 0, you can cast those as many times as you want. Whereas the ones of level 1 and above, you can only cast a certain amount of times per what's called a long rest, which is basically you resting and rejuvenating all of your stuff. So you could cast your first level ones and remove one of those spell slots, or you could cast a cantrip and just have that happen.
I would like to run away.
Like to run away?
In fear.
Okay. You sprint back like round the bend in the hallway, and he's like kind of following you, and you get back to the door of your cell. Would you like to do anything now? Because that was just your movement. You can.
Going back in there and closing the door.
Okay. You go back in, close the door, and you
You
hear just him scrabbling against the door, scratching it and making just incoherent noises really. And then you hear something being hammered. For the record, that is Zark Muckberg getting properly hammered.
Is there any other way out of this prison cell?
All you see is the stone walls, but if you'd like to make an investigation check.
Please.
So that'll be D20 plus your intelligence modifier.
21.
Is it a
Just
natural
roll the
20?
natural 20.
Natural 20.
Okay, if it's a natural 20, tell me it's a natural 20, because that's an automatic success.
Oh.
You start feeling around the sides of the walls, and you get to a point where it seems kind of loose. The bricks don't seem loose, but there's chipping away at some of the cement in between them.
No,
I've no clue what's made sound like.
Isaac.
Okay. But yeah, there's a section that seems particularly loose because the cement's kind of eroding away. So you feel like if you want to, you could probably break through there and get to whatever's on the other side.
I'd like to do that thing.
So if you want to make a strength check, so D20, add your strength modifier.
12.
Yeah, you start ripping some of the stone bricks out and go scattering behind you. Some of them crack a bit, and then you hear the footsteps of the goblin walking away, just satisfied that you're back in your cell. Yeah, some of the bricks go scattering across, as echoing within the chamber. And on the other side, you just see a long, 5 foot long corridor, and it seems to turn both left and right at the end.
I would like to turn left
Okay, so while you turn left, is there anything you two would want to do? So you can see 11 goblins and you can see 6. All in like...
Is there only a secret tunnel in Isaac's?
To find out, you'd have to probably go check your own.
Can I go check my...
In what initiative would Zark Muckberg be doing this? Why would he be thinking?
Because he's seen 11 goblins in front of him.
Okay.
And he's
By the
tested it out on his own without them seeing. And he thinks he couldn't kick 11 goblins.
Yeah, just like miming it in the air. There's like occasional flashes of like blue scales just across. So yeah, you head back to your cell and can you make an investigation check, please?
Which one is it? D20?
Yep, D20.
14. And then what do I do? Plus intelligence.
Plus your investigation, it should be
Investigation.
along this list.
Don't have it.
Well, it'll just be your intelligence if it's not proficiency.
Plus 1.
Okay, so what's your total?
15.
Yeah, you go into yours and you see that there's not really like a loose section of wall anywhere, but what there is under your bed there seems to be like a small, like, it's not much of a bed, but it's kind of like laid there and it's like bolted down, and then you like rip the sheet off it, and underneath is like a weird trapdoor made out of the same stone, and if you want to make a strength check for me to try and lift that.
11.
Yeah, 11's fine. You unlatch it, and one of the keys you had was for the lock. That was on a few of the latches. So you then like swing that up, and it's like a loud crash, and you feel like it's probably echoed a bit. But yeah, there's underneath there. There's probably about 10 feet down. There's a passageway that continues. Farida?
Against one.
Against one of the 6 goblins. Okay. How are you gonna make it so you're only fighting one of them? Like, what do you do to initialize this fight?
Assuming all of them are.
And how are you going to make it so it's only that goblin that fight? Okay, so you kind of walk out, and as you get in there, you see the chamber's like quite large, and there's probably about 14 or 15 of these creatures like just there, and they're all like quite close together at this point. You sense that something's probably disturbed them, so they're now all like huddled up and a lot more attentive than they were. Like there's a few that are going and looking down probably. If you look down to your right, there's probably like 20 corridors leading off this. You see they're starting to check them, and they're getting slowly closer. Okay, so you head back there as well.
Yep.
If you'd like to make an investigation check, just a d20 add your invest, which should be
Brilliant.
what's your total?
8.
Don't worry, all you guys needed to beat for these was a 5.
Oh, okay then.
So you go in and you start looking around, and why is like one of the sections of wall doesn't look quite the same, like the grey is slightly different on the stone, and you like go up to it and feel it and it's soft. You start pushing your hand into it and it like bounces back almost like sponge, and you just like push your hand fully into it and it just kind of almost like jelly like encapsulates your hand, and you feel like your hand is, if you've ever put like half your arm underwater, it feels like there's that like different texture on one half as opposed to the other, but you can move your arm free. Do you want to step all the way through? Do you want to pull your arm out? Do you want to like step all the way through and you take like a deep breath as this like weird substance like washes over you, and you move through, and there's torches on either side, and the 40-foot corridor that branches. Can I assume all of you are going down these corridors? So you've gone down your tunnel, you've turned, was it left or right?
Left.
To the left. So you turn to the left, and you see this, as you turn to the left down your passage, you see like this about 6 foot tall like dragon woman, like just kind of stomping towards you, just like in the same kind of prisoner's outfits as you are. And if you'd like to describe your character to Isaac, and Isaac the same too.
You a dragon? Oh, right. So it's not just a random.
No,
No,
it's
it's
no
me.
random dragon.
It's me.
Just what you look like. It's not like I grew up in a fishing town.
Yeah.
I was originally a sailor.
Are you a fish man?
A demon man, I think.
Yeah, like a person with like rust red skin.
Hellboy.
Man's got rusty skin.
Yes, bro.
Okay, so if you'd like to describe each other's characters,
Or do we have like
yeah, you're like right in front of each other, like facing each other. I'd like both of you to make just straight intelligence checks. So D20, add your intelligence modifier. What are those totals?
4?
12.
Okay, you notice that he's clearly wearing like the same clothes as you and like doesn't have any stuff on him, so he's probably another prisoner. You look at this crazy dragon woman, and what the fuck? What? Why is there a dragon woman down here? What?
You're
But
racist.
what? Is this like all those goblins? Are they?
The baby
is she-
strangles
is
are
she-
racist.
Is she gonna hurt
Who'd
you?
have thought?
I hate dragon women with a passion, with an absolute passion. What do I do at this point? Do I tell you what I want to do?
Yeah, you tell.
Oh, bro.
Unless it's like a direct like speaking interaction with another player, then tell me what you want to do.
I want to head on up to that dragon woman and say, hey, look, right, okay, I don't want to, like, associate with you, but, like, fuck, we're stuck in this place, this is house, and it's full of goblins, and I want to get on out of here, so I'll abandon my dragon woman-based prejudices in order to escape this wretched place.
I'm willing to do this.
Put aside your dragon woman prejudices.
No, put aside my prejudices against his
People.
Yeah. And I'm willing to work together to
You
get
strangle a couple babies. Everyone hates Tifa.
Okay, as you two are having this conversation, Zark, you come up again a fork in your path. There's one that leads left and there's one that leads straight on.
Strictly speaking, that's not a fork.
That's a bent fork.
Okay, Zark, while they're having this conversation, you come across a split in your tunnel, and there's one leading left and one that continues forward.
Can I continue forward?
Can you make a perception check for me, please?
Okay, if you insist.
Just a d20 and add your perception bonus.
I don't have a perception bonus.
Then it'll be wisdom.
8.
8 total?
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem the same.
Okay.
So which one do you want to go? Forward?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're heading forward and it continues for... You're walking for probably about 10 minutes, just straight, continuing going. And then you start to see, like, the texture of the stones changing. It's going less from, like, bricks to more pebbles and then to sand. And it doesn't feel safe to be in this tunnel right now. It feels like it could collapse at any second.
I can go down the other tunnel. Oh, you're going to say something. Okay, say something.
And you start to see this, like, light coming in from in front of you.
Can I just run really quick forward?
Yeah. Could you please make a dexterity check for me?
If you insist. 15.
15 total?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. You're just like sprinting along and being quite light-footed about it. And because you're obviously a lizard man, you're used to like swamp terrain. So you're used to having to exert like little force to move along. So you sprint up and you see there's not quite stairs, but it's like a slope that's leading up with what looks to be like a half covering over it. Like it's quite see-through.
Can I go and look through it?
Yeah, you poke your head through it, and once you poked your head through it, it looks like this sand, like around your head. You don't feel anything on your face, but it looks like this sand.
Is there sand?
You don't feel anything else, you only see it.
Can I do a thing to check if there actually is sand?
Will you make an investigation or perception check, whichever you'd like to?
Which is different.
One of them is intelligence, one of them is wisdom.
I'll do investigation.
Okay.
7 plus 1. 8.
Okay. So wait, what? How can you see sand that's there? But
Is
not
it like
feel
right
it?
in front of my
But,
face?
Yeah, it's like
I'm
directly
buried in
blocking your
sand?
vision, like buried.
Can I just breathe in sand?
You try and breathe in. It's that. You breathe in
Can
there.
I go through?
You continue through it, and you kind of like emerge out of like a sand dune. But there's no reaction from the sand as you do it. Like you emerge out of it, and it's almost like if you walked through a hologram.
Is there anything around?
Yeah, you look up and there's like some seagulls flying by, and the ocean's like 10 feet in front of you. You're clearly on like some beach of a coastal city. Move back to you two then. What do you two want to do?
How many little goblin fuckers did you have at the end of your tunnel, bro? Why don't you buck up and go back that way, and I'll follow close behind, and we can fuck up the goblins.
Can both of you make an intelligence check, please?
How do you know the difference between 6 and 9?
6
There's a line underneath it. Or a dot, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even know.
Can I ask your totals,
7.
please? You realise that there was only one like path down yours, whereas you can see like straight past where he emerged. So it's clearly another way for him to go. And you don't think it's very likely that two of you will be able to take on 14 goblins without equipment.
But there were only 6 that way.
No, what was happening was you were seeing the same chamber, but from different angles,
Oh.
so you couldn't see as much of it.
Arsehole. Frankliners. Yeah, carry on. So
You don't really understand any of this. You just think that's the way. That's like I came down this and this is the way. Like what would I do? So what do you two like to do?
Go the other way.
Okay, so you turn around and you continue, and you walk down and you see. Once you got far enough and past yours, you see there's a tunnel to your right that seems to like head up into a cell. with like some steps and like a large trapdoor that's been hefted off it. So there's a path to your left and a path to your right.
Which
The
one
one to
leads
your-
into the cell?
The one to your right leads to the cell. The one to your left seems to just continue for a while.
For some reason, the left one sounds banging.
Okay. You two continue down this and you start to see the stone bricks turning more into pebbles and then into sand again. And you see the same thing where there's light coming in and what looks like a semi-clear or a semi-transparent sheet that's been put over the ramp outwards.
Well, this is obviously some kind of wizardry. I reckon we should rock straight through this. What do you think, Frida?
I don't know, man. I don't think so. I don't feel too great about it. Just straight.
Well, what do I know? I'm just talking on the baby strangler, aren't I?
The baby strangler.
So,
You two don't have to do the same thing. You can do
Yeah.
different things.
fuck you, Dragon Lady Scum. I'm going straight on through this sand dune.
You walk through it and briefly, when your head's the only bit peeking through, you just see sand. You don't feel it or anything, but you just see sand. And then you continue walking and you see like a large beach scene, like a coastal town, and it all seems to be pretty normal. Apart from the large, lizard man just kind of just stood there, just like looking at the sea, just all weird and everything.
Yeah, fuck off.
You see Zark Muckerberg, the lizard man.
I approach Zark Muckerberg, the lizard man, and I say, Wagwan. That's
Can I say something?
Yeah, you two are now able to just interact freely.
Right, bro, are you in there too?
I was just in there, just in that tunnel.
Oh my god, I was in there too. That's crazy.
That's insane.
You want to
Frida.
team up?
Freddie, you just saw this like demon person just walk up through it and nothing. You didn't. You can hear like slight voices on the outside of it now.
Can I shout profanity at Frida from the outside?
What would you like to shout?
You suck absolute ass. You're
Uh,
so lame.
Can you make a charisma check for me? And can you please make a constitution save?
Do I do that with this bad boy?
Yes. And I'd like you to make a constitution saving throw, which is these ones.
So for charisma, I got 18 natural
18 total, got it.
plus 0.
And what was your total?
13 total.
Like, these words are hurtful. Like, that's not fair. Like, why, you know what? Screw him. This is our, no, screw him. But what would you like to do? Because you can hear the voices on the other side. And, I mean, Thorganon sounds fine. It doesn't sound like he's been hurt at all.
It's so fucking good out here.
I mean, I'm gonna go through it. We went through it. It didn't explode or anything.
You walk through it and you see the same kind of like sand at one point just surrounding you. And then as you emerge, you see Thorganon speaking with some large blue and orange lizard man.
So
And then I go, do you know this bozo?
I reckon I probably ran into them at some point, but I forgot because they're fucking lame dragon kind.
That sounds awfully like you're racist against dragonborns.
Uh,
See, I'm a modern day lizard folk, and I don't respect racism of any kind.
Right. I'm just Thorganon. And I respect traditional tiefling values, and one of my favourite values is hating dragon people, especially.
Can you two please make history checks? Which I'm pretty sure is under intelligence.
Yeah.
So if you've not got proficiency in it, just
3 total.
3 total. You know what sounds legit, yeah. All tieflings say Dragonborn. That's right.
intelligence check, yeah. 18 total.
He's spewed a bunch of bullshit. This isn't a thing. I think he's trying to justify his own racism with some kind of cultural background. Yeah. No respect for this lad.
If you're gonna come to my fucking desert sand dune, you might as well learn to speak the language.
You three start looking around you and you see there's... Like, the beach doesn't stretch on for long. It's sand for a while, like nice white sand with the blue seas. But then it starts to... The water quickly transitions to, like, a murky green with a much more, like, pebbled beach with large rocks and everything, like, scattering the ground. And there's a relatively large city of what looks residential, but like grand in scale and adorned with like beautiful colours and flowers and murals decorating all the walls.
Before we move that way, can I? How big are the rocks? Like, how big is the how big is the biggest rock?
It's about 20 feet down at the beach, and then if you want to make an investigation check to see if you can find a big rock.
Yeah, bro. 19
Plus.
And then, plus
It'll
what?
be intelligence for investigation.
20.
Okay, so you see like there are these fucking huge rocks. Like, there are some that you probably couldn't carry, and there's some relatively good like hand-sized ones,
Yeah.
like two of your fists together,
Yeah.
like that size. So there's about 10 of those you could gather if you'd like to.
I'd like 10 of those.
You gather them and you're like carrying them in your arms because you don't really have anywhere else to store them.
Yeah.
But it's quite precarious as you're like walking and everything. You got 10 massive
I don't
rocks.
mind if I lose a couple on the way.
If you just want to make a dexterity check to see how many you can keep holding onto.
8.
You managed to keep hold of like 3 of them.
Yep.
It's really odd because when you start it, there's like tripping over some of the rocks and then they just kind of like fall out. But you managed to keep 3 of them. So
Okay.
if you want to write in your equipment, 3 large rocks. Not in pen. That's permanent.
That's fine. Don't
You know how
worry.
this changes all the time and you get 1.
Can I also just pick up a single rock?
Yeah, how big do you want the rock to be?
Just like fits in your hand, nice, maybe a bit
Yeah,
funny.
there's quite a lot of those like scattered around. You probably want to.
Have to do anything for that. No. One rock.
You aren't trying to find like the biggest rock or anything really specific. You're just trying to find something quite common. So it's fine.
I wrote down one pointy rock.
Yeah. It's not especially pointy. It's quite rounded because of like
Come
the
on,
sea
cross that
spray.
fucking word off now. It's just a regular rock. You're not special.
So am I right to assume you're walking towards the city?
Yeah.
Hells yeah.
You start moving up across the coast and up onto like the grass that surrounds it, and there's like beautiful like rainbow flowers around everywhere. Like there's some that are multicoloured, and there's some that are just like purple, yellow, orange, red, blue, green, and they just like scatter these fields. And two of you it looks beautiful. To one of you it looks like elves like it, and that's disgusting because you're a racist.
Fucking elves. Oh. Oh,
But
God.
You
Come
see that-
round here, plant the
You
flowers.
see that there's like some 20-foot high wall surrounding the city, but it's got like large, beautiful murals of like swirling flowers and like beautiful colours adorning it. And there's one like large purple and gold gate.
Shouldn't we go through the gate?
You 3 walk up to the gate and you see there's probably 3 or 4 like elven guards, like just stood there, just waiting.
Do
Can we talk? Can we go in?
Yeah, if you'd like to walk up to them.
they speak?
Halt! Don't know what you think you're doing here, but this city's restricted at the moment, so unless you have the pass to get in or the necessary funds, you can't be let in.
We were just taken as like hostages. We've got nothing. We stole all our stuff.
You like
the
goblins?
hostage one? Great. Dragon woman, lizard man. Yeah, you're in. Tiefling guy. The problem is we have like special plans set up by the government and everything to protect some of the dragonborn and lizard folk in the area
yeah.
because of a lot of the discrimination that's been going on.
Hmm.
There's like 3 of them chipping in at this point, like just constantly like, yeah, and we don't really like tieflings around here anymore. Not since, Thorganon.
Yeah, so you reckon there's some guy coming around here strangling babies. I now like to ask the other 2 if they think that sounds absolutely ridiculous.
Can you make a deception check for me, please?
Deception?
Which is D20 and it'll be plus your charisma.
10 plus nothing.
You see, one of them's like, that is pretty ridiculous. I don't know why they're trying to make us think there's some evil tiefling going around strangling babies. The other's like, wait a minute. We saw this guy. Like, we saw the back of him. Like, right?
Me, man.
Wait, you?
Oh. Right. Okay. I see. The big liberal elites of Big Elf City think just because I'm a tiefling that I'm obviously thogging on the baby strangler. I'm quite clearly Thorganam, the no one strangler.
Can you please make another deception check for me?
11.
Fine, just don't cause any trouble.
That's alright, bro. And I certainly won't strangle any babies.
It's an oddly specific thing to tell us, but I'm glad for your honesty, sir. You just walk in. Did you two wait for him, or did you continue?
Yeah.
Went straight in, assholes.
So you've just stepped into the city of Airstuff. It's like a predominantly elf city. You can see everyone walking around, and there's a few tieflings. There's quite a few dragonborn and quite a few lizard folk, but there's a few dwarves and humans and everything. But you see very few tieflings at the moment.
There's a few so they'll let those ones in because they didn't look like Thorganon. Right. Okay. So I just give off baby strangler vibes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I guess I did ask for it by strangling my baby. Anyway, yeah.
Did you just say you strangled baby?
No,
Hey, did you say you were the baby strangler? There's a few people that are just kind of gathering around now. They're like, it's just a baby strangler. There's a few people that are very clearly just not happy with this. If you want to, what do you want to say?
How many people?
There's 3 civilians and 1 guard's coming up because there's a commotion.
3.
There's 3 civilians and 1 guard that's walking
I
up.
just so happen to be carrying gifts for all 3 of them. I'd like to throw a rock at all 3 people.
Can you make dexterity check, please?
While he's doing
attempt
this,
to
can
throw
we
it?
just disassociate ourselves from it?
If you'd like to, you can walk away at this point, yeah.
Yeah. I'll just watch from a distance.
What's your dexterity bonus?
None.
You see them pelt them in the stomach. There's 3 rocks just going flying at people. The guard hurries up his pace and he's heading towards you much faster at this point. The people are not interested anymore. Not after you've just thrown rocks at them.
Just committed an act of terror.
The guard's definitely rushed up and he's got his hand on his sword and he's like, what the fuck's going on here then?
I point off at Frida and I say, "It's Thorganon, the baby strangler."
Could you please make me a deception check? I'm just going to make an insight check for this guard to see if he's smart enough to realise you're a lying piece of shit. Nope, that's a 1.
It's 4. I actually did roll 4 and I've got no extra.
Yeah, and I rolled a 1, which is an automatic fail. So he thinks Farida just is talking on the baby strangler. So he just starts going up, he shouts for fun, "It's the baby strangler, we've got to get her!" Running at you. He gets a bit closer and kind of realises you're not even close to being a tiefling. So he's like, "False alarm." Very disappointed in himself.
Do I have any rocks left?
No, you threw them at the people, and as it impacted in the stomachs, it didn't look pretty. But the rocks are kind of lying on the ground still.
I would like to go and collect those rocks.
Okay.
Actually, I'd like to collect one of those rocks.
Yeah, so you get one of them, and it's quite easy to carry at this point. It's nothing too difficult about it. What would you guys like to do in the city?
How are we going to get our stuff back?
You didn't have any specific adventuring stuff on you when you were captured. You just had whatever was for your previous job. You had your uniform. Obviously, it was probably just a cloak and gloves for you, probably Thorganon. And for you, it would have been, what was your background, sorry?
I was a fighter.
Yeah, yours would have probably been just a few stuff that would have helped you on journeys.
So what about all this stuff? Okay. So can we go find a pub? Because I need a drink. I've got money.
I would also like to go to a pub.
Can I have you all make intelligence checks, please?
17.
4.
21.
Okay, so you immediately realise you all, like, on the keys that you got given, they weren't like steel or anything. They looked like solid platinum. So you reckon in this you've probably got like 10 platinum pieces each? You're just going to need to try and find a place where that's acceptable.
We found a bank.
Yeah, if you guys... who's going to be leading the way for this journey?
Me.
Frida and Thorgamon, you would notice this, and Zark, you're just like, gotta go get trashed somewhere right now. With the no money I've got.
Are we going to the bank first, or are we going
What
into
do you want to do?
Well, it's been like, I don't know, I reckon if we... Yeah, well, it might be worth going to the bank first, but I had an idea for some pub shenanigans. So if we look...
But how do we pay in the pub?
Well, here's the plan, right? So
Trade a rock.
we go in the
Strangle
pub.
a few babies,
Yeah,
use them as currency.
So we go in the pub, and I look for, you know, a shifty guy around the bar. So I'm assuming that that's a...
At the moment, you're not actually at the bar, just so you know.
But when we get there, I'll
Okay.
look for one, and hopefully find one. And when I do, we'll go and make it look like we're buying a drink and slightly irritate the bartender. And I'll stand and talk loudly about this expensive... fucking hell, this really expensive rock that I found. They sell for trillions on the green market. They look exactly like local rocks, but you can tell they're different because they have a little bit of blood on them, as if they've been thrown at people. And then the guy around the bar will be like... The guy sat next to me on the bar will go... Fucking, my wife loves rocks, so I'll try and sell him. I don't know what his story will be, because everyone's got their own story, don't they? And that's what I'm
Are you just assuming this is based on the fact that there might be a shifty looking guy in the bar who's gullible enough to believe your story and who also has a wife that has a rock collection?
Well, we're more likely to find them in the pub than the bank.
So, who would like to head to the bank and who would like to head to the pub?
We'll go to-
I'd like to go to the bank.
Can I go to the bank?
So you all... Who's leading the journey to the bank then?
Can I go to the bank?
Yeah, so you like get your way to it and it's close to the time it'd be closing, and you go in and you manage to like exchange these like solid platinum keys for like 10 platinum each. So if you'd like to write either 10 platinum or 100 gold each, please. Just in the little boxes in your equipment thing.
So if we sold them
Platinum's this one.
And with that, I'd say if you want to mark off 5 of that platinum or 50 gold, you can get the equipment like you start with. Isaac will sort that for you in a minute. So would you like to mark off 5 platinum for each for getting your starting equipment?
Wait, so if we already exchanged it for...
You've exchanged keys for money, and then you've gone out and bought some of your supplies.
What supplies have I bought? Do I decide that now?
We'll decide that in a minute, Isaac, don't worry.
Okay.
But you guys then all like head to this inn, and it looks like there's some kind of... The sign's quite squeaky and it's like swinging in the wind a bit, but it looks like habitable, and there's like a warm glow and some laughter coming from inside. So if you'd like to head in. And as you do so, there's like a lot of people in here, and there's like an elf, a dwarf, and like both bartending, and there's like a dragonborn like stood behind the bar like scowling at everyone. What would you like to do?
Talk about your really fucking expensive rock.
Whew,
Yeah.
buddy! You recognise me from that one time? Whew, well anyway. I've tried to introduce myself to the
Make a
to the
persuasion
bartender.
check.
But make a what check?
Persuasion check.
What's that?
Persuasion. Charisma.
What do I even have a persuasion?
Charisma.
10.
Okay. He's like, oh yeah, I remember you.
Yeah, he's nervous.
Why don't you just sit down and have a drink with me? Just so you know, since we're nearing the end of it, I'd recommend just go up and get a room or something, and then we can leave it on as you rest for the first time outside, like a prison cell or something.
And I'm still talking to the bartender.
Yeah, you're talking to the bartender. He's like, let me pour you a drink.
Dude, since we met at the rock convention, I've collected some really interesting rocks over the time. I found one really far away from here, but it looks like the rocks from around here, and it's ridiculously valuable actually. And I'm looking for to sell it.
No rock's valuable, mate. Come on.
Oh.
When has there been a valuable rock? Come on.
Oh, this rock, right? It's not like the other rocks.
So, whilst Thorgonon's speaking to a brick wall about rocks, what would you two like to do?
Could I go and inquire about booking a room?
Yeah, you walk up to like the elven guys. Is it drinks or would you like to book a room for the night?
I'd like to book a room, please.
That'll be 5 silver, please. For the single room, I assume.
Fuck off, mate. I'm just alone right now.
Hey, no offence.
Between people.
No offence. It's just you don't seem to be with anyone.
Well, actually, I'm with that bozo, and that bozo.
So how many rooms would you like?
Well, what's the biggest room you have?
Well, the biggest room would be the suite.
How big is that?
It's relatively large. For
How many
you
people
three,
can it
it's
fit
as
in?
big as probably 2 of this room. And for people who are listening, it's probably about 40 feet by 20 feet.
How many people? How many beds are there?
And there are there's 3 separate beds within it, and it would cost you like 15 silver for a night.
Okay.
Alright, bro.
What is that each?
No, for just the room for the one night.
Okay, yeah.
So do
Yeah.
you guys pay the
There's
money
that then.
and get a room?
Yeah.
So you
Who's
head up
putting
and
the
it's quite lavish.
How do we pay 15 silver? We only
Um,
have gold and platinum.
What's the exchange?
he'll give you
rate
some
of?
change.
Is it 1.5 gold?
Yeah, that's 1.5 gold. So if you give like 3 gold in, he'll give you 15 silver back, and you can each write 5 silver on. If you'd like to mark off 1 gold.
I don't have any
3
gold.
gold.
3 gold. What?
No, 1 gold each.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have any.
Oh, yeah, I love gold.
Well, you want are you going to pay for him? Because
I'll
he's
pay
not,
for him.
he's not
Don't
got any
even
gold.
worry, don't
Oh,
worry for it.
cheers.
So then you just mark off 1 gold and don't mark anything back, and you could probably just mark off 1 gold and get 5 silver back. So as you walk up to this room, it's like large and lavish, and there's loads of like embellishments and like natural lighting and everything. And it's been long. It's been hard. So you all just kind of settle down and take your first rest outside the prison cell in too long.
Woo!
And hopefully, this is where we'll pick up next time.
Woo!
With Thorgonon, the baby strangler, Zark Muckerberg, and Farida.
Dungeons and Dragons.